we are together now on this very first step of our journey of discovering our incredible identity as artists or storytellers, filmmakers, musicians, whatever the creative gifts and passions that we have. We are going to discover how valuable and important they are. But we can only do this by first looking at who God is, because we need to understand our identity is not in our gifts. It has nothing to do with how good we are or how much we have accomplished with our gifts. No, we must begin our journey with understanding and having a deeper appreciation of who our great God is. Again, we must recognize that we can never fully comprehend who God is. He's so beyond us. And so what we're going to look at right now is only a small aspect of His great majesty, His great presence, His greatness. But it is wonderful to know that God is actually an artist. God is creative, and we can understand more about ourselves by understanding that about Him. And so the first thing we are going to do is look at this aspect of God's artistic nature, is that He is creative. God creates newness in a spectacular way, in a way that is orderly and is spontaneous. See, creativity is all about newness and uniqueness and playfulness. Creativity is beyond just making, because it's actually possible to make things that are destructive. But that is not what creativity is about. In the very word itself, it means life and growth. And that's who God is. These are the words that describe how God created everything in the beginning. It is newness. God is all about newness. He's about making new things, and He's about making old things new. In Isaiah 65 verse 17, it says, "For behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, and the former things will not be remembered or come to mind." Revelation 21, it says, "He who is seated on the throne said, Behold, I'm making all things new." God is all about making new things. He rarely repeats or copies how He does things. It's always creative, it's unique, and this is wonderful. And one beautiful thing about the way God does this is that He does it in a way that is ordered and planned, but also very spontaneous. Now, you as an artist or a storyteller, or whatever your creativity may be, you may find that you are one who really likes to plan things out. You like to get everything all written out and planned before you begin. Or you might be another type of person where you don't actually enjoy planning. It just doesn't go that way. You just begin very spontaneously. Both of these are okay, and both are very valuable and valid and important, because they both come from God and who He is. We can see God's order in that He works carefully in things like when He created the law for the Israelites, or the tabernacle and everything in it, and it followed a design. He designed the ark for Noah. He designed even the new temple in the New Jerusalem. All of this shows that God loves order and design, even in how His creation works together so intricately. But God is also creating very playfully and often with sudden spontaneity. God's creation is actually often described as playful. There's this wonderful Hebrew word which we translate often in the Bible as rejoice, but it really means to make merry, to laugh, to joke and play. And one of the places we find this word being used is this beautiful poem in Proverbs 8, where it is wisdom speaking. And wisdom says, I was the architect at his side. I was his constant delight, rejoicing always in his presence. How happy I was with the world he created. How I rejoiced with the human family. What a beautiful poem. We also find in other poems in Job 39 and Psalm 104 that show once again this frivolous, playful excitement in creation. In the Bible, we find so many references of God doing things suddenly. In fact, even if we just look at God's creation, look at the animals, how funny and wild and exciting and playful they are. See, creation is something that should feel playful, but it should not just be crazy and random without meaning. No, that's not who God is. God creates everything with meaning and purpose, including you. And this spontaneousness, this playfulness in you, or this desire to really plan things out, all is because of who God is. That God is a creative artist.